and welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show where every fan is welcome. And today we are going over the NFL Week 10 picks, the matchups, giving you my insight, my thoughts on some of the lines, some of the games, who I think is going to win, score predictions, all that funky, fun stuff. So let's not waste too much time. But if you do enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on for any future videos. So first matchup I have here is a game in Germany. It's at 9:30 tomorrow morning, p.m. Eastern. No, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And in this game, I don't think it's a game. I think it's a game that a lot of people are overthinking. They're like, oh, it's Tom Brady. It's time for him to get right. They're on a little bit of a path. It's just, if you sit back, you look at the matchup, you look at some of the statistics, that kind of stuff, and, even you watch the tape, you see that the Seahawks are much more, they're just a better football team. They play a little bit better defense. Their quarterback is phenomenal. He is the most accurate quarterback in the league right now. They have some decent weapons. They run the ball pretty well. Offensive line, is a little better than we all expected. The Seahawks are just a better team. They're very well coached. The Buccaneers are just a team that, they're okay. The offensive line isn't good. The wide receivers just haven't been there. Even though you got Godwin and Evans there, this team has just not been there. The defense has not been the best. It's not been terrible. Leonard Fournette hasn't been performing as well. I think Rachaad White is going to step up and get a bigger role this week. But I think Kenneth Walker and the Seahawks offense is going to be too much for the defense. I don't think the offense is going to be able to get the job done. That's why I'm taking the Seahawks. And I would take, I'm kind of surprised that the Seahawks are underdogs in this game. I think that's kind of surprising because I think the Seahawks are just a better football team, plain and simple. So I'm going to go with Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle 27-20. Then next game we have here is the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. So I thought about taking the Vikings here in this one because Josh Allen, I'm expecting him to be out. That elbow injury, the nerves, even if he doesn't play, you have Case Keenum, who's going to want his revenge as well. So that's kind of a fun scenario to seek out there. But I think the Bills defense is going to be too much for this Vikings offense. The Vikings aren't utilizing Justin Jefferson as much as they should. And now they have T.J. Hawkinson, so the ball's really going to be spread around. But, Kirk Cousins has his good and bad games. Kirk is, primetime games he hasn't been, we all know his primetime games aren't good. The Vikings they're an inconsistent team. And the way they're winning is unsustainable. And whether Josh Allen or not, I think the Vikings lose this one because I think the Bills are a better team. I get it, the Vikings are 7-1. They have a pretty damn good record. But I'm taking the Bills. I know they're 4-point favorites as well. The Vikings are underdogs. I think the Bills win this. If Josh Allen doesn't play, I could see a scenario where the Vikings win. But I think Case Keenum has, some decent weapons. He has Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. Running backs, he's going to have Nyheim Hines out of the backfield. Devin Singletary. The offensive line isn't great, which may be a struggle versus that Vikings front. But I'm taking the Bills. I think the Bills are going to win this game 27-20, kind of like, the same as last game, just the other way around. So taking the Bills in this one, 27-20. Then you have the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. So the Bears have been on a roll lately on offense, to say the least. Justin Fields has been very good. Cole Kmet has risen from the dead. And, the Lions have just been an inconsistent team. And, I don't think that Lions offense is going to be consistent enough throughout the entire day to outscore the Bears. So I think Justin Fields is going to be fine. I think Darnell Mooney has a day. Maybe Khalil Herbert has a day. The Lions have the worst defense in the NFL, just about at the worst. I think the Bears. I think Justin Fields absolutely takes care of that. I just don't think it's a good matchup for the Bears or for the Lions. Is DeAndre Swift going to play? Not sure, but I think 24 is a fair number. That Bears defense isn't anything insane, but it's not like it used to be. So I think the Bears outscore the Lions here. I trust Justin Fields more than Jared Goff. Also they're gonna have they have some other guys out too. I don't remember who it was, but I know they had some other weapons are gonna be out. But I think the Bears aren't gonna have any issue with just Amon-Ra St. Brown. He could have a pretty good day. I could see that, but I think the Bears are gonna pay close attention to him due to the other injuries. So I'm taking Chicago 31-24 over the Detroit Lions. Then you have the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. This game is probably going to be a very low-scoring, boring game. Malik Willis, he's not the greatest throwers. He's a good runner. That's about it. He hasn't made any good reads. That interception in the Texan game was terrible. Just not really performing all that in the Chiefs game. But I think the Titans win this game because they can run the ball very well, and Malik Willis can run it off of that. Even though the Titans haven't been using it in that way, I just think the Titans have the defense is okay, but the Titans are much better coached. The Broncos aren't going to be able to score much. They haven't been able to score much on anybody, no matter what the defense is. So I'm gonna trust Mike Vrabel to get his squad ready for the Broncos over Nathaniel Hackett. I think the Titans take care of this one, 19-13. As you see, I think there's going to be a lot of field goals. Don't know if there's going to be a lot of converting in the red zone. The Broncos can't even run the ball as well. I'm going to take Derrick Henry over the committee in Denver. Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. Interesting game here. The Jaguars do match up okay against the Chiefs. They can run the ball. Chiefs can't really stop the run as well. I just think that you have to make more plays in the passing game versus the Chiefs. And, it showed last week versus the Titans. When they play the Titans, can't just run the ball. You're going to have to match Mahomes a little bit, play against Mahomes a little bit. You're going to have to make those big plays in the air. And I think they could do that with Christian Kirk. They could do it with some of the other weapons they have there. But not enough with Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I think Travis Etienne still has a day. Just that's not enough to beat the Chiefs. So I'm taking the Chiefs 34-26. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are 3.5-point favorites. Cleveland, Dolphins could both run the ball pretty well. Dolphins are much better in the air, Waddle and Hill. Scary duo. You have Nick Chubb. Dolphins struggling against the run a little bit. Their defense, especially versus Fields last week. Fields had quite the day. Now they're playing Nick Chubb and Jacoby Brissett. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is going to make more plays than Tua. I'm going to take Tua to make more plays than Jacoby. Both defenses have been underwhelming, but I'm going to take the Dolphins 34-24 with their ability to get it done in the air. Browns' defense has not been anywhere near as well as they look on paper. No one thought that this defense would be this bad, but Browns' defense just isn't there. Dolphins aren't going to have any problem against that defense. Dolphins win 34-24. New York Giants and the Houston Texans. This is probably going to be another low-scoring game. Not sure how Daniel Jones is going to, he more of a game manager than a game changer. He's not going to be the reason why you win nor you lose. The Houston Texans, I just don't have enough faith in them to make enough plays on this Giants defense. I think 17 is the limit for the Texans. I don't think the Texans are going to I don't think the Texans could score more than 17. Getting to 17 is going to be tough at that. But I think Dameon Pierce, can have a day. Giants' run defense isn't the greatest. So Dameon Pierce can maybe really take care of them and could really get it done on the ground. Davis Mills can maybe get a few big plays in here and there, but that's not going to be enough. I think the Giants win this one. They're favored by 5. I wouldn't take it, because I think this game is going to be a little closer. When you have a quarterback like Daniel Jones, you're not going to kill your opponents. You're not going to get them by the jugular and just end it. No, when you got like Daniel Jones, you're just going to hope he brings you to the end. And I think that's what's going to happen here. The Giants are just going to outlast the Houston Texans. So I'm going to take the Giants 21-17 over the Houston Texans. And you have the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. New Orleans Saints, really weird team, really hard team to predict and get a grasp of here. That's kind of like the entire NFL, really. It's just really, really weird year. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers playing like crap. Just a lot of teams that we thought would be solid, and they're just not. Quarterbacks that we thought we'd have good years are not. This game, you have the two crappy quarterbacks going at it. I mean, Kenny Pickett is trying to get it figured out right now. He's been okay. He's not going to do anything great. He's not going to do anything insane this game. The Saints do have a decent defense, which I think is going to be able to keep Kenny Pickett in line. I think they're going to be able to stop the run just fine, even though, the Saints' run defense is good. It's been spotty at times. They really struggle versus the Cardinals. But I don't think this run game is as much of a threat. It may seem weird having Najee Harris and such, but Kyler Murray really opened up that run game for the Cardinals. And I think that's what really hurt the Saints in that game. But I'm going to take the Steelers 20-16. Not a lot of scoring, probably low scoring. I don't even know if these teams score this much unless the Saints really have a day. They've been getting a little more healthy, so I could see the Saints scoring more. Chris Olave has been phenomenal. I'm going to take the Steelers. I think the Steelers defense is a little more reliable, a little more consistent than the Saints. I think the Steelers are I just think the Steelers take this one. You know, it's a tough game to predict. That's why I'm like don't really know what to say right now. I know a little bit, I'm really going the matchups, but I think the Steelers win this game. I think Kenny Pickett gets a few nice throws off and they make just enough plays. I think the Steelers defense plays really well and that, they don't have a problem with the Saints. The Steelers defense is more of a disciplined defense, and the Steelers always hang around. So, team like the Saints, where you don't have really that kind of a quarterback to pull away to make sure to end it, I think the Steelers find a way. I think this could be a last-second touchdown. It could be like 13-16. Maybe they score a touchdown. They're close. Don't want to go to overtime. Go for it. Something like that. Taking the Steelers 20-16 over the New Orleans Saints. Then you have the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders. I think I have a lot of my lines wrong here by accident. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure my lines are right for next week. But the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders, crapshoot. Two AFC teams that we thought would be good teams this year just were not good this year. Have not been good. Quarterback has been an issue. Offensive lines have been an issue. Coaching has been an issue. A lot of similarities, but the Saints. But the Colts, I think they win because they can run the ball a little bit. I think they're going to be fired up. If they could stop the Raiders' run offense, with Josh Jacobs and that, which is a Colts' strength on defense. They have a very, very good defense in general, and they're pretty good at stopping the run. Kwity Paye is questionable. I think that's going to be a big factor, whether or not they're able to stop the run as well or not, because without Kwity Paye, that run defense has not been the same. Kwity Paye just has that presence. Grover Stewart and Buck up the middle, they're going to help, but if you don't have someone to steal that edge, because Unique Ngakoue, revenge game for him, not really good against the run, but I think the Colts stop the run, but this offense has to figure something out. Under Jeff Saturday, they're going to have Parks Frazier calling the offense. A lot of interesting matchups in this game. You have Rocky Sin looking for his revenge game. I already mentioned Unique Ngakoue. As Rocky Sin and Unique Ngakoue both traded just traded straight up. So it's going to be a fun game. I just said fun game. It's not going to be a fun game on the West Coast. It's probably going to be a boring game. Probably going to be a crapshoot. Two crappy teams that no one's interested in watching. I'm going to take the Colts 21-17 because they stopped the run. Then I don't think that the Raiders are going to be able to throw the ball at all. If the Raiders get the run game going, I could definitely see the Raiders winning this one because that Colts offense, if they can't stay on the field, that defense is going to get really tired, and that's going to cause more issues for the defense. Not going to be able to stop them. I can see this being a game where if the Raiders really do get the run game going, Josh Jacobs, them in general, they could have over 200 yards rushing. I could see this being that type of game. A few weeks ago, Colts struggled against the Jaguars run game. The Broncos, when Kwity Paye went out, the run defense just hasn't been the same without Kwity Paye. Last week it was decent with Kwity Paye. Without Kwity Paye again, Raiders get that run game going. Raiders going to win the game. And you have the Dallas Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers couldn't score more than one touchdown. I think it was 9 points. Yeah. They couldn't score more than 9 points or 8 points, whatever it was, against the Lions defense. He didn't score double-digit points. That's the point. Against the worst, if not the worst, defense in the NFL. And Aaron Rodgers just is not playing good right now. He's not a good quarterback at all right now. Do his weapons factor into that? Yeah, to some degree. Aaron Rodgers has ignored and not trusted these guys and has made other mistakes. He just has to learn when to trust his guy, throw to his guys, and that's not going to happen this game. Nothing's going to change this game. The Cowboys, not going to have an issue. I don't see the Packers scoring more than 17. I don't even know if they score more than 10. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have that big of an issue against the Packers defense. The Packers defense has not been insane. You have Dak Prescott. You have some good weapons on that offense. I don't think this is going to be a very close game. This would be a game that the Packers somehow find a way to win. Just the NFL is weird like that. But I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys in Mike McCarthy's revenge game too. Kind of the opposite of what we thought. We kind of thought the Cowboys weren't going to be as good this year and that the Packers were still going to be okay. Kind of the opposite. So I guess we'll see if the players want some revenge. I can see Aaron Rodgers having a good game just because Mike McCarthy is a head coach of the other team. Aaron Rodgers is like that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers really cares, to be honest with you. And I think it shows, but I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys 27-13, and this is a game I'm probably the most confident about. Then you have the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. So the Cardinals are just too inconsistent for me. Both quarterbacks are going to be, either going to be dinged up or out. Matthew Stafford has a concussion. The Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray, he's dealing with a hamstring, and if he plays, even with the hamstring, Kyler Murray makes his money outside of the pocket and running the ball. If he can't do that, then it's a prime game to see how he's going to do, just being in the pocket and not be able to move as well. But John Wolford or Colt McCoy. Yeah, I'm gonna take yeah, this is gonna be a rough game, but I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna take the better coached team. I know Matthew Stafford, whether he plays or not, I'm still gonna pick the Rams. Even if Kyler Murray plays, I'm still gonna pick the Rams. I think the Rams find a way to claw this one out and they win it. I don't. It's a really hard game to talk about. The Cardinals just aren't consistent at all either. Defense is good against the wide receivers, so I could see the Rams really struggling, but the Rams, could kind of run the ball. Not really an offensive line, which, the Cardinals has a decent defensive front. This is just a very difficult game to predict. You could go either way, and I wouldn't say you're wrong. I wouldn't disagree. Either way is feasible, but I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams have a little better of a matchup, and plus, if Kyler Murray can't figure out that hamstring, how he's going to do inside the pocket. We know how small he is, and we see all the memes. Could he see all those linemen? Could he see over them? That kind of stuff. We'll see if he can make his money from the pocket. It can be a very difficult game plan. And, they could run the ball. I think James Conner is back this week, so that could be a big factor. But I'm taking the Rams in this matchup, 21-17. Then in Sunday Night Football, you have the Las Vegas Chargers against... No, the Los Angeles Chargers. That's why it sounded wrong. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the San Francisco 49ers. So, I'm taking the Niners in this one, and I'm pretty comfortable taking the Niners because they're well coached. Jimmy Garoppolo, they have all those weapons. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and then the defense is very well coached. I don't see the problem with the Chargers have been is that you can't really. They haven't been letting Justin Herbert throw deep, and the offense line could be some of the issue. But but Justin Herbert is thinking and dunking a lot. I want to see him unleash it. But versus this disciplined Niners defense, I don't see that being happening this game. Mike Williams is very inconsistent. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's coming back this game. I don't think so. I think one more week or two. Keenan Allen will probably play. Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton. Yeah, I take the Niners playmakers over that and the Niners defense and not the Niners offensive line, defensive line. Just a much better coach team. So I'm pretty confident in this pick as well. 28-17. So you guys let me know what you think on that one. Interesting matchup. It's football. Weird stuff happens. It's Sunday Night Football, but I think the Niners have this one in the bag. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Washington Commanders. I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time on this. Philadelphia Eagles score 31, Commanders score 17. Don't even know if the Commanders score 17, but it seems like the Texans may have found the blueprint to attack the Eagles defense. They do have weakness, if it really is. Right up the gut, running right up the gut. They struggle against that. Dameon Pierce ran on them very well. So, do they really have the guy to run up the gut like Gibson and Robinson? I think Robinson can run up the gut. I think he could do that fine. Gibson, maybe not. I think he's more of a scat back. He can run the ball really well. He's a decent back. I just don't think he has that kind of a day versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles coming off the bye, it's going to be a rough game for the Commanders, I think. I'm going to take even though the Commanders defense has been a little better, it's still not great. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles 31-17. Jalen Hurts in this run game to kill it. They don't have William Jackson anymore either. Montez Sweat is just not doing it over there right now. Chase Young not being there doesn't help. So the defensive line isn't really getting at it. Linebackers, corners aren't really there. Safeties are, so I don't think the Eagles have much of an issue against this Washington team. I don't even know if Washington scores 17. You know, this game could be a quick game. I think the Eagles could have possession probably like 40 minutes or something like that. Yeah, that's the kind of game I could see it being. But yeah, that is my predictions for this week. Thank you for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show. Thank you for, if you stuck it all the way through the video, you know, thank you for sticking it through. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think. Where you think I'm wrong? Where you think maybe I missed a point on a team? Maybe